All right, so today I have some questions from the audience about selling on Amazon, about products, about e-commerce, which is the main topic. And so, first question I have is, how do you know when to discontinue a product? Okay. I honestly believe that the vast majority of products, if they're in your category, should not be discontinued. They should be revamped or changed to improve, okay? The only exception that I think that you really need to discontinue a product, like for sure, no matter what, is either there's a legal problem or something wrong with it. The product is like just, you didn't source it correctly, meaning the actual market, you did it at a time when you were either had different criteria, it's not in the category you're proficient in, and it's just, you shouldn't have launched that product, okay? If it's super saturated, that doesn't mean it should be discontinued. I think it could be niched down. It could be targeted to a specific area or specific type of use, right? Almost any product can be revived by changing its use in some way. So if a product right now, let's say, loses $10 a day, right? Most of the time, you can get a product to stop losing money. This is, okay, if you feel like discontinuing a product, okay, it's probably because it's not making enough money or making negative, okay? Generally, there's a few things that I would do before I would discontinue it. First of all, put the product to right above break even. Keep the ads on. Keep it going for about a week. The sales should skyrocket, okay, ideally. And you're going to lose money for a week, like pretty strong. Then you're going to lower your ads or turn them off, right, gradually. Soon, if you have no ads on and above break even and it's still making sales, you should have about like positive profit or break even, right? And now you're getting data. It's a data machine. It gathers reviews, right? And then you can find out, can you improve that product? Can you add colors to improve the profit on the variations? Can you make it slightly smaller to reduce your FBA fee, right? Or can you make the product more premium to charge more money? So you figure out how to revamp that product and not lose it. I've seen categories where the leader is losing and losing and losing sales, even though they have the most reviews, because someone comes in and has it at a lower price at a better product, right? And then leader is not changing their images, improving their product, doing anything, and they're slowly dying. And that's what happens. And realize the market is always going to go toward the most appealing and or the lowest price. So if you can't make it more appealing, you have to lower your price. If you can make it more appealing and lower your price, that's the ideal scenario. So what I like to do is that when the product is losing money. Now, if a product makes pretty much any amount of money, right, $10 a day or more, even $5 a day, even $1 a day, if it's making any money, I don't like to discontinue it because it shows that there is life that could be created there. There is a boost that that product can get. It is a fledgling. It's a seed. It has reviews. It has history. And now you have more data about that category than you ever have. So you can go to the manufacturer. You can revamp it. Get the newest model that they have from their catalog. Make a new model, right? Ask for a discount. Okay, maybe check with a different factory if they can do the product at a lower price, and you can change your profit immediately by doing nothing except changing your supplier. That's the way to do it, right? There's so many reasons why adding to your catalog is great. Now, the time to really cut it, I would say, is cut it to put a better product in its place, right? And that's what I like. But if it's you losing a lot of money, if you have the ads off and it's not selling, and the only way you can sell it is if you push ads and have a break-even price or something like that, and it just continues to lose money, and you can't make it lose less, then yeah, you might have to liquidate it, right? You might have to sell it and then be done with that product, and that's fine, right? Something that you cannot move. If you have a break-even price, you redid the main image, right? Your main image won on a survey. You can use IntelliView, you can use PickFu to check your main image versus the competitors. If your image is beating the top competitor, you have a break-even price, and you can't sell it, then you should probably discontinue it. Like, I would discontinue it at that point, and then like, okay, maybe you can revamp it at some point, but it shows that that category is really, really tough for you, right? Go on to the next one, or if it's in the wrong category. So that's why. Wow, that was a long answer. I hope that helped. Okay, here we go. If you are trying to improve your company, what are your priorities? What should you focus on the most? And this, for Amazon sellers, the thing you always need to focus on are one of three things, okay? The 3 Ps, okay? It's your product, your promotion, or your page. And you need to cycle through them, okay? No matter how good you do your promotion, meaning your ads, your social media, if your page is terrible or if your product is terrible, you are going to lose, okay? You get all the stuff, amazing marketing, amazing ads, and then go to the page, it looks like garbage, your product has 3 stars. You're going to fail. But getting good ads is important. So then you get great ads, then you go, oh, the product needs improvement. I have a 4.2 star rating, 4.1 star rating. Improve your product and get it better. Get it looking better, get it lasting longer, get it smaller, get it bigger. Whatever you need to do to improve the quality of it. Unless the whole category. Some categories, everyone is 4 stars. If you're 4 stars and everyone else is 4 stars, you should still try to improve your product. But like, fine, that's not the make or break. And then your page, the main image, the A+ content, right? Your videos, okay? Your bullet points, your keywords, right? What shows up on that page, okay? That's an important piece. And that includes the price, right? Where are you pricing it? Changing that price. And then you just cycle through. Adding a new product, adding variations to it. That's part of the product. There are products in our catalog that the area is so saturated that the main one that brings people in because of the low price doesn't make money, but the variations then make it profitable. So you need to add to your catalog. There is no great company that has one single product. It does not exist. That does not exist, right? This microphone I'm using, Shure microphone. They have all types of microphones. They have all types of equipment. They build on a great product with more great products. You can't live in one silo alone. So you want to expand your product lines at all times, and ideally around that category that you're in, right? So someone can buy this and then buy the stand and then buy, who knows, some mixer, right? Some some speaker, something in the category that you would use together. Add to your product line. And then to your page, there's your page, but then there's also your brand store page, right? There's also your social media websites, which is part of your representation online, right? There's some of that stuff, okay? Then there's where you have those pages. Is it in other marketplaces other than Amazon? Is it on your website? Is it on the TikTok? Is it on Instagram? Is it whatever? In the future, whatever other platforms are you on those platforms, right? Are you selling to wholesale? Are you going to get into retails? Whatever. And then your promotion, your ad campaigns, and what you're doing. So that includes your Amazon ads, but that includes possibly the TV ads that Amazon is offering now. Probably includes TikTok advertising, Facebook advertising, whatever platform is strong at that moment. Can you advertise there? I have a couple friends doing TV advertisements, not even through Amazon, through like national TV in different areas, right? So your priority is always moving around. It moves from the promotion to the product to the page. And if other stuff, then you make that easier. So I would say that your priority is the one that you have the most trouble with, right? If your page is looking really bad, your best spent time would be working on your page, okay? If your page looks good and you're serving near the top, well, you're probably going to work on your ads, okay? If you're spending less than 5% of your total sales on ads, probably ads is your number one priority. Or if you're spending over 20%, right? Unless you're into like, I don't know, makeup or something really, really high margins, then maybe you want to be over 20%. But typically, I think anywhere between, let's say, 8% to like 12% is like the sweet spot of ad spend. And it could be more, okay? And then if you have nothing innovative, if your product has nothing better than the competitors, that's probably where you should be. If your product, it looks exactly the same as every other product, stop working on your ad campaigns, right? Stop working on your images. Go change your product and make it better. Do something valuable with your life. Steve Jobs, he's been the number one product innovator and creator in history, okay? What he did is make better products all the time. There's a new release, a new product, a new type, a new thing. The iPad, the iTouch, the iPhone, the blah, whatever. New generation, better camera, better this. Always staying on the edge and always improving, okay? The number one thing that your company and the reason the customers buy from you because they trust you. And when you take that and you take their payment, you want to take that money and put it back into product development. So you reward that customer. They paid you. Now you reward them with a better product in the future and to continue to serve them and realize that it's not just like free money. It's not like, oh, this is all mine. No. They're paying you because they trust you, and to give back that trust, you invest into new innovative products, into new things that will service that customer going on into the future. And this is why today a Samsung TV, whatever, 40 inches, 50 inches, whatever you do, now it has like their own operating system and they build on it and they've used their customers' money that was paid in product and they developed and continue to make the product better. And if you continue to do that, your company grows stronger and stronger. If you deprive it and you go, well, I just took it, and you don't look at the view that you're supposed to serve that customer, you're going to be outdated and your product is going to die. So again, if you're not innovating your products at all, or they're the same as they are right now, like you have no patents, you have no special design, you have nothing particularly going on for your products, and they're like the same, stop taking another mastermind class on your next ad course and your next way to do pay-per-click campaigns. Stop it. Stop obsessing over your images and video if you're doing it. Improve your product, make it better, and then do those other two. Same, if you're not running advertising, stop trying to get new developments and new products and new stuff because no one cares. You're an inventor, you have 20 things, but nobody sees it, then they're not gonna know what it is. So you have to flip between those three. And your exact priorities on that's up to you. All right. And then what is the biggest growth in e-commerce companies right now and going into the future? I think the big shift, okay, is right now Amazon is increasing fees. They're increasing fees like probably never in the entire history of Amazon, okay? At least that's what I've heard in the news. I know that they reduced the FBA fee right now, but their storage fee, the inbound placement fee, the different fees that they're increasing, it's really intense, okay? Now, if you go to a place like Macy's or Kohl's, right? Other marketplaces that they have a lot of sellers, they have good selection of products, they just charge that 15% fee. So sellers are able to be on those marketplaces, and hopefully at some point they get big enough and strong enough where instead of sending people to Amazon, we can send them over there because the actual margin is there. And possibly the regulations will change and Amazon won't be able to turn off your sales if your price is cheaper somewhere else. Because what happens right now, one of the reasons Amazon keeps its strength and its buyer is because I cannot have a lower price of a product on Walmart because Amazon will shut down my listing. Well, they'll take away your buy box, which is essentially taking down 95% of your sales. If I have my product up on Kohl's and it's $1 less than Amazon, Amazon will turn off my listing, will not allow me to sell, will not give me the buy box, right? They'll allow you to sell again, but at a very reduced amount of volume. Not the customers don't really want to buy your stuff, so they're suppressing your sales, even though still allowing you to sell. If that changes ever, Amazon is going to feel it heavily because all that'll happen is people will run campaigns. Walmart will run a huge campaign that says, check out your product. It's 5% less than Amazon. Here you go. And they'll run national TV ads and they'll get the sellers to match the price. And I would participate in something like that. I would do it. You know why? Because if my price is 5% less on Walmart, I will still make more money because the fees and how they're structured on Amazon continue to increase the ads. Now, there's a hidden fee on Amazon these days, which is the ad spend. If you're not spending 15% around on ad spend, 10 to 15%, somewhere in that range, you are losing sales, you're losing traction, you're going down, you're not going to grow that easily, right? If you're your own brand, I'm talking about private label sales, your own brand, not reselling. Reselling, you don't need any advertising, okay? Because people are already going to buy the Nike shoe. Someone else paid the advertising. But if Kohl's or Macy's can be 10%, 5% less than Amazon on their price, I will make more money selling there than on Amazon because I spend more than that on ads. I spend more than that on these extra other fees. So if that regulation changes, if Amazon changes, Amazon won't change their policy themselves. The government would force them. If they force them, then Amazon will have a rough time. So the future is getting in other places where Amazon is going to lose market share too. Okay, and that could be TikTok Shop too, right? TikTok Shop for a while had like a 0% commission, 3% commission, they have very low commissions. So you can buy the same product, but they're not searchable right now. But as they build fulfillment centers and do that, that might be a challenge. Now you can say, okay, it's China, you don't want to deal with TikTok. At the same time, that is a future. They've grown by, I want to say, $20 billion, right, in the last year. That's a lot of e-commerce. That's a lot of purchasing, right? The future generation, they love TikTok more than the older generations, okay? As they grow up, TikTok might be growing because people just buy it there and they know they're not going to get 2-day shipping. I don't know. So being in a lot of places is really where there's going to be a lot of growth because markets are going to change, right? Amazon's a big dog now, and then maybe they will be for the next 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. I don't know. But maybe they won't be, okay? All right, next question. Wow. So how many books have I read on e-commerce? And what's my favorite ones? Funny enough, on e-commerce, I don't read a lot of books on e-commerce. There's a podcast that I listen to on e-commerce called The Jason and Scott Show. And it talks about a lot of trends in e-commerce, right? like what's happening with AI and e-commerce, what's the actual like Department of Commerce data from the government on e-commerce, on commerce, on retail stores, what's happening, is the industry up, is it down, things like that. They discuss earnings calls of Amazon, of all the big box retailers, right? It's a great show. I listen to them. In terms of books on e-commerce, I maybe haven't read none. Well, I read one. Scott Volker had a book, which is a great book. I should write a book just like his. It was just it was the Amazon Blueprint, Amazon Selling Blueprint, and it was just from zero to like having a product live. It was a really great like, hey, find something that can sell, research it, buy it, from Alibaba or maybe a manufacturer in the US or somewhere else so you can find it, and then put it up on Amazon, run a couple ads, like basic concept. I did read that book. But e-commerce books, no. But I've read a lot of like marketing books, right? The End of Marketing as We Know It. The Fall of Advertising, The Rise of PR. Al Ries. That's a great book. Then there's like just business books. So I've read a lot of business books. I don't want to say that's where my main focus is on, because the thing is, e-commerce is a subsection of business. All you're doing is getting products to people through the internet. But the overall sales cycle of, hey, you should buy this product, this is why it's good, that process doesn't change whether it's in person or if it's online. I mean, it does change, but the overall conversation is similar. And so the overall thing is, how do you build a business around it? Because no big business is one person. It does not exist. How to hire people, how to have a team, what your organization is going to be like, what things you're going to talk about, like how do you build the purpose? How do you interact with those customers? How do you set policies for the company? All these different types of things. Those concepts I think are a bit more important, right? Some books, like, again, and I think I've recommended a lot on my channel already, but like Psychology of Money, it's a fantastic book about money. Just fantastic. Grant Cardone, I've probably read almost every single one of his books. I read at least 2 or 3 of his books every single year. That's really like the person I listen to the most about business and sales, marketing, is Grant. Okay. And then what I say? Yeah, e-commerce books. I don't think any. Maybe I should have. Yeah, if you have a good e-commerce book for me, let me know. And otherwise, put it in the channel. Okay. How has working so hard and dedicated not hurt your family? Wow. Oh, that's hilarious. So, I don't think that working hard ever would hurt your family, right? Maybe it's the amount of, maybe like length of time. But at the end, I believe most people, right, if you really look at it, your kids watching you work, if you're winning at work, if you're going to work and you're winning, you're having success, you're happy about it, you're proud of what you've done, that can only give a good message to the kids or to my wife or to anyone else in my family that I'm doing something that is productive. I'm making a difference somewhere. And you might say, hey, what kind of difference does selling lemon squeezers or garlic presses or coffee machines make in the world? Well, it makes, if any product, anything makes a person happy, okay? We were reading a review today. Someone said our lemon squeezer saved their marriage, okay? It's a crazy review. If you go to our lemon squeezer and you search marriage in the reviews, you'll see it, okay? I love that, making people's lives happy. People saying, wow, I'm so excited about this new thing that I got. Look at this milk frother. We have videos with hundreds of millions of views of people enjoying using our products, literally. How could you not be proud of that? And how is that going to hurt somebody? Like, oh, by the way, we're delivering products that people are going to happy with. Like, how is that going to hurt the family? Now, in terms of time dedication, I unfortunately have to say that the vast majority of people, if you check the amount of time that you've been on your phone and the amount of time you're on TV, even people with families, and you're getting home and you're ignoring the kids and you're just on the TV, it's like, well, the question can be like, well, how is that person ignoring are they hurting their family, like watching too many movies or something, or watching too many series? Like, I don't know. I honestly, like, at this time, I spend a lot of time with my family. I'm there a lot. Okay, we're in the pool yesterday for many hours. Like, we hang out, we do things. I talk to them about business. I've had Luna on my podcast. Violet was not on my podcast. She tried, but she, I think she's not ready yet, unless I do something else, unless we do some sort of different thing. But interview style, I don't think she's ready for that. She's 6. And so we talk about business. We talk about staff. We talk about things that happen, right? And I think it's just a conversation about life, because I'm not going to, seclude them from life, which most of your life is spent working. That is the number one activity you have in your life. Between sleep and work, they're both like somewhere around the same, depending on who you are. And so, I don't know. I basically at this point our kids are in a private school. I think it's pretty good. I think they eat pretty well, pretty healthy. We get nice vacations, and I don't give them everything. In fact, my kids still work for their stuff, and I show them hey, I'll show you how to work, and I'll show you how to do things. And then Luna is making these drawings and selling them. If you want a drawing from Luna, I'm gonna have to make her a domain or help her make a domain or something like that. TikTok shop, I don't know, because she draws stuff and she'll sell them to people, adults that she meets. In the school, it's banned to sell stuff, but before it was banned, she was selling stuff to other kids and they would buy. She's working, and I think that part of me doing what I'm doing, that gets her inspired and gets her excited because I enjoy my work, I enjoy my life, I enjoy doing work. And honestly, the difference between playing a game and doing a work, it's the same thing. If you look, it's the same thing, except one, you get paid for, you have a purpose to it, and in the game, there's no purpose outside the game, right? So if you play soccer for fun, you're playing soccer for fun. Well, the purpose of that could be getting fit, having fun, right? But if you play soccer professionally, you're literally doing something you love, but you get paid for it. The difference is one, you get paid, and one, you don't. So almost everything that's a game, you can get paid for it. Hanging out in the pool, that could be paid because you could be it could be a sport, or it could be some videos, some viral videos, right? Traveling the world, that could become a job, quote unquote, work. You're traveling and talking to people and interviewing, videoing it, and people get crazy channels and make good money on that. So the difference between work and not work is one pays you and the other one doesn't. And one is someone finds it valuable enough to pay you for it. So you can make the things that you love into that. So I don't know. I think you can ask my family, see if it's hurt them. I'll probably ask them, does it hurt you? Did I work a lot? I don't think they'll say yes, but I can check in their viewpoint. But either way, I think that you have to follow your own dreams, and you have to follow what you want and what you're going for in life as the number one piece. And your family is around you, and you have to make sure you fulfill your duties in your family and in your community. And in that aspect, we're all together. There's no book somewhere that says you must spend 6 hours with your children every day or you're a bad parent. That doesn't exist. There's quality time, and then there's non-quality time, right? Going home and watching TV with someone for 3 hours, being I spend time with my kids. I don't think that's necessarily I think it's fine. You could do that. I'm not saying it's bad. But the difference between doing that and working more and then coming home and having then a 30-minute conversation and spending interactive time or active time, I think that would probably be a better move. So how? I don't ignore them and I don't neglect them in my own estimation, and that's how. And of course, a lot of it, our family's taken care of. Take care of the family. Okay. How do you manage all at the same time, family and business? I think the number one answer to that is you need to build a team. Okay. If I was trying to do what I'm doing now by myself, I would not be able to do it. You cannot have a company selling over $50 million in a year by yourself. If you did that by yourself, you probably will have absolutely no time for family, for friends, for nothing. You'll be so immersed doing the amount of shipments and everything on Amazon. You cannot do it all with your own two fingers, even though it's okay. There's all these people and all these platforms and Amazon FBA and they do the shipping for you, but you will not be able to do everything yourself. It's impossible. So if you want to grow a business and have time for life outside the business, right? You have to have a team. You have to have people who you've trained or that are trained elsewhere that are doing things to forward your business and to keep it growing. And you can direct the ship. But just how a cruise ship, cannot navigate with just the captain. The captain needs all of the people on the crew to do their jobs, and together the one things happen. But the captain doesn't have to be at the wheel 100% of the time. He can sleep, he can do whatever, he can do the things that he needs to do in his life. His life is not 100% consumed because he's the captain. He's not the captain and the stewardess and the whatever and the person with the anchor and all that stuff. You have the one job. You have that one hat. And that hat involves a lot of complex structures. But if you have the people in place, it doesn't need to be over-consuming 120 hours a week in work. Although, again, I think the lines blur a bit. You go have dinner with a friend, and hey, that could be a business meeting too, because you're talking about business. Maybe you do a partnership. Maybe you do a collaboration. Like we just did a fantastic collaboration. If you search Recetas Zulay, it's my Spanish or Zulay Kitchen's official Spanish Instagram channel, and that's with a friend of mine. Okay, Nicole. Okay, Nicole Guzman. She's amazing. She's a great influencer. She blew up. She has like over 730,000 followers. That's a friend. We're talking, chatting. This. Oh my gosh, she's on this Instagram, social media stuff. Okay, let's do a deal. Why don't you help us? So like a friendly, fun conversation, going and having dinner with some friends, can become a business thing. But that's because it's all working together. But it's not like I'm so immersed that I'm ignoring everything. No, it's part of it. Okay, the kids can be part of the business and have fun in the business. That's fantastic. Okay, the family can. The friends and this and that, all of that, you could do business together as a fun thing. Just like you go and you play pickleball with a friend, you can go and, hey, let's go launch a product together. Or, hey, let's go do a social media campaign together. Hey, let's do a video together. So you could kind of blur the line a bit between like, oh my gosh, it's work, and like, oh, that's family. Like, no, the family can work with you. Like me and Whitney, we spend time together and we chat about business about a lot. Like, because our life is involved in that, and then we can make it fun, and we have fun we do like internal Shark Tank meetings. That's fun. Me and Whitney, like we approve products and we this and blah, and we do like listing teardowns and whatever. That's a fun, exciting thing, and that's family time because I'm with my wife. Okay, good. When could I? Let me see. When is a good time, right, to hire in HR, right, human resources? This is a really tough question. I feel like I'm not very knowledgeable in this whole HR thing, and it's something I need to learn a bit better. But in hiring, when you need to have a dedicated hiring person, I heard somewhere in some podcast somewhere, right? And it could be true, it could be false, I don't know. But somebody on a podcast said, you must always have a person full-time on recruiting and hiring in HR. That's like your number 2 hire, number 3 hire, they said, or something like that. I'm like, what? Like, I don't have that now. I have a person who does a bunch of like current employees and hiring. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a person to recruitment and hiring people. And I think that's headhunters. It's probably true. I think we're probably way too behind in hiring, because if you find a fantastic person to work under your team, it's going to pay off itself. So yes, there's a story. I talked to a guy, I guess I once to the company, but it sold for hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And I said, like, how did you do it, right? It was, 3 years. And he said, listen, this is what we did, okay? And this is a crazy strategy, and, like, I haven't been able to do it, but he did it, okay? And it's all about HR. And what he did is he already sold one company for, I don't know how much, like 100 million or something like that. Took that money, and then he said, okay, I'm going to hire, like, 4 people to put them in, like, chief executive level kind of stuff. So it's like chief marketing officer, chief whatever, some people, right? And for example, he took a person from a massive, massive company, huge company that sells billions and billions of dollars. And he took their head retail person that's getting people into stores, and he poached them. And he had a person, this wasn't him, this is one of his very first hires, was a person to hire these people. That's his first person. Hey, go hire these guys. Hire a retail person, and the offer was something like $300,000 or $400,000 plus 3% of the company. This company didn't even exist, but he poached a massive, massive person over to come over. Like, and they did this with various different positions that are very important. A marketing person, retail person, product person. And so massive salaries coming out, percentage of the company out. And like that product got into, I want to say, 25,000 stores in the first 18 months. How? Because the person that was recruited had all of the skills and knew how to get into every store and knew how the connections and knew everything. So the hiring aspect was the most important thing, because it put the team together. And if the hiring person is brilliant and has strategy and has this and has whatever, and of course in this case a massive budget, like that's a crazy amount of like starting budget, but like damn, I mean, I could see myself doing that. We sold the company or something, like okay, that'll be an experiment. I've never done it. I have no idea. I don't know if I'll ever do something like that, but maybe. So that hiring role in this case was the entire success of the business, because all the people who had all the experience and all the chops, all the knowledge, that hiring was the best thing. And that person stayed on and continued to hire people around. And then that company sold for a crazy amount of money. So I think that hiring somebody immediately for, hiring is fantastic, and you probably should do that immediately, but that's not what I've done. Let's see. What were the topics? Okay. What are the most successful things? What were the keys to getting to the top 100 on Amazon? Okay. The number one, and it's getting products that will wow people. This is a wow strategy, okay? And you have to do that. And maybe it's the value, okay? I'll tell you, I was wowed when I went to Dollar Tree and I saw a pack of like 2 lasers, okay? Lasers that when I was a kid, I bought this thing for like $17 with a crazy laser. It was a pack of like 2 lasers with all these different caps and everything. It was $1. I go, what the hell is this? I was like shocked of how good Dollar Tree's products were for $1, $1.25 now. Shocking. You go in there like, what? This crazy thing with like a thing and or in Christmas time, the elf ears, the hat, the thing, and it's like $1. You go like, wow, this is intense. Like, wow. And so you go like, it gets you to go back and it gets you to be impressed. And so the focus on the products, like I want to have the best selection of any product, right? Okay. If it's a garlic press, if it is a milk frother, if it is whatever you think it's like some basic thing. No, I want the best one out there. I want people to be wowed. And this wow factor is one of the most important. Whole Foods has what's called the wow the customer policy, where if something happens, any like senior member, some person on staff can say, okay, I'm going to wow the customer. So they'll take it and say, yeah, you can take this thing for free. Or like, oh, you want to sample this? You know what? Take it. And they're like, what? What did you just do? Yeah, it's called wowing the customer. So they have an internal thing, and it is something that works. Because if the customer is wowed, if you've changed someone's life with a product or with a service, if you have a service business, you can have you really have a customer for life. They continue to buy from you. We have a good amount of our sales are repeat customers, okay? And otherwise, when you see the selection, when you see something, do the work to get a wow product out there. That can guarantee your success, okay? That is how you have success. And then, of course, ads. You need to know ads. You need to know marketing. You need to know all these different things. You need to know supply chain, logistics. You need to keep all your stuff. Like, there's a lot of business stuff. But if you're never wowing the customer, you're probably not going to do great. Okay. How to pick a brand. How do you do communication for a brand? Now, for me, I don't know that much about branding, okay? I haven't done a branding course. I'm not a designer, but here's what I know, okay? You remember your experience with a brand, okay? If I bought a Nike pair of shoes and they were terrible, I may never buy Nike ever again because I remembered that I hated it, okay? The brand is what you remember. You need to have something distinguishing on the product, and your brand is created by getting sales into the marketplace. So someone gets the Zulai garlic press, right? And they use it and they love it and they go, I love this thing. And then when a friend comes over and they get it and they'll buy it and they know it and they recognize it because the name is there. So a brand is what you put in the customer's mind when they think of your name. And yes, you can do it with commercials and do it this and blah and like colors and fonts. And I'm not good at that part. But what I'm good at is like, let's make that experience amazing. Let's see when they call in and they get a replacement. They have the lifetime warranty that we actually honor it. They're like, okay, good. The thing happened. Okay, good. Get another one. Oh, wow. It shipped to the wrong place. Oh, whatever. Tell your cousin to keep it and you take one. If you have and create good experiences with the customer and they know it's you as a brand, that is developing your brand. Every interaction the person has with you, right? That to me is brand, okay? When you go into someone's house and you go, I love this thing. What is it? Oh my gosh, whatever. It's a cup. It's a simple modern cup. Okay, cool. I want to get it too because it actually works well. So branding, the number one thing is making the experience good. The brand books, I don't have a brand book, okay? Actually, we made a brand book a long time ago, but we're making another one now. I should learn more about it. I don't know. Go to Build a Brand Story or something, some other book that talks about brand. Okay, one of the questions is there anything specific that happened that got you to be obsessed with your job? So, yes, I mean, I think it's getting the wins. At the beginning, I was obsessed. My first time I got obsessed with Amazon was I was sold the idea about selling on Amazon from 2 people, Jason Katzenbach and Matt Clark. And they went and they did all the work for me, right? It was hard to say no. They sat down and they pitched why selling on Amazon is amazing. The guys talked for like 4 hours and I listened to them. And I was in a place where I needed money. I had a family and I had to support them. And I'm like, okay. And I was open to like, how do I get to that next level? And they just said, it's going to be Amazon. And when they put that idea in my head and I looked into it and I researched more, I said, it's true. This is going to make it happen. And when I saw the vision of that happening, that's when I started to get obsessed. And I pushed and pushed and pushed. And I got my first product launch, the lemon squeezer. And when it was failing, the product looked very bad. And I really wanted to, I thought I failed because it had a scratch in it. And so I was going to dump it. And I said, I got to sell it out. But then it sold. And I go, wow, people buy it even if it's bad. And then when I noticed that people gave 4.8 stars, it was 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, even though I thought the product didn't look as good as I thought it should have looked, I went, this is amazing. And then I just got hooked at that point because you get a win. And you get a win and you keep win, and you get excited. It's just like, I don't know, any game. The way the people hook you on the video games is like, you're like, boom, you get a win. Oh, you got that guy, you did this or whatever, you got points, you got this. And you're on that climb to get better and better. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can make it. Oh wow, I can get, and they had badges. They made it like a game, this amazing selling machine, right? Matt Clark and whatnot. They put like, get to a little badge that you sold 5,000 in a month. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that. Oh my gosh, can I get the 10,000 badge? Can I get the, they literally made it into a game. And the way that you continue to like games is you continue to win. You win and win and win and win and win. And sometimes when you get the losses and so like, oh my gosh, when, there was one point where like, I thought we lost and we're not going to be able to succeed. And I'm like, oh wow, maybe I'm going to continue back to programming or this, or what can I do? And there has been that time. And then when you start winning again, you go, oh, I like this again. So a bit of obsession follows thinking that you might win and then winning. And that's how what fuels the fire more than anything. All right, guys, that was my first Q&A episode here, right? So I got questions. You have more questions, put them in the comments, send an email, send questions in and I can answer them. Love to talk about e-commerce, love to talk about Amazon. Please, if this is helpful to you, leave me a review, share it to somebody, share it to any other Amazon seller that might need a little bit of help, a little bit of tips, and we'll see you around next week. Bye.